Okay, welcome to the second day of the Pan American Football Championship here in Alajuela, Costa Rica. We're looking forward to some exciting fights again. Yesterday we already had some good contests here with the home team of Costa Rica taking in total 3 golden medals. As well, we had some gold medals from the Dominican Republic, from Canada, from Bolivia, from the United States, but the Mexican team took 5 medals and yesterday topped that gold medal table. We're going to start off here right away with the under 64 kilograms category, where we have Guatemala facing Uruguay. Here, a good first attempt of Guatemala. Finds himself now on the ground. Probably is going to get between William Estrada in the red uniform representing Guatemala and Santiago Acosta in the blue uniform representing Uruguay. And he's securing the hold down right now. Has to hold that for 20 seconds now at the edge of the mat. Needs to stay inside at least with his feet and manage to hold him down for 20 seconds. That means 4 points here for the fighter from Uruguay, with 1 minute into the contest, taking the lead. And that very first contest of this category and of the day. We haven't seen many participants of Uruguay so far, at least yesterday on my mat. I haven't seen any of them, but it's nice that Uruguay as well is here. And there they go once again. A good attempt here, single leg takedown. Took probably 2 points from that action, 1 point from that action, and was now aiming for the hold down. But you can only take 4 points in one match from a hold down. Otherwise, you could go for a submission either on the arm or on the leg in order to make points or to win on the ground. Here, another one. That this time it was a fireman's carry attempt here in Russian Mielnica, the windmill. Couldn't get any points from this action, but yeah, really surprising that Uruguay came with a small team, but is bringing a really good level. And here the second penalty for Estrada from Guatemala, so that's 1 point more for Acosta on the scoreboard, and now he's on the floor, and now he's going for the submission as mentioned before, going here for Richa Caliena, tries to stretch out the leg right now to make his opponent tap out, but Estrada is now defending this situation here well. Acosta gets 1 minute to work on the ground right now in order to make his opponent tap out, but he's not in the perfect position, so he cannot bring the pressure onto the knee. That's why the referee had to interrupt here that situation. He couldn't continue in this lock position anymore. That's why he made the fighters stand up and continue in the standing. Here once again this Mielnica attempt, and continues all the way. Therefore the referee gives 2 points Let's see if the other two referees confirm that score, as he took probably too long. So he was too long on the ground. Let's see. They are going to have a little chat about that situation, because they stood up all the way and then he threw him outside of the contest area. Usually if they attack inside and land outside, that shouldn't be a problem. That should be counted as a score. In this case, they are going to have a look at the slow motion once again to see if this action was countable, and if it was countable, they might give 2 points for it, and that would finish the fight, and Acosta would be through to the quarterfinal, where he would face Kieran Bourne of Trinidad Tobago. We would see them later on this day. So the referees are back. Now we're going to see if they give a score. They gave 4 points for that because, well, he landed flat on his back. So 10 points in total for Acosta, who takes the win of this first round. And now Estrada needs to hope for the repechage. He would go into the repechage. If Estrada makes it to the final, well, and therefore he needs to win 2 more fights. Not that unrealistic if he continues the way he just started. That was a really brilliant technique. Let's see that once again. Here we can see the end where his opponent lands flat on his back, and that's why they decided for 4 points. Although they landed outside, the action was initiated inside, and we go to the other side of the draw, where we have Anthony Molina representing Costa Rica in the red uniform, facing Brian Garcia representing Nicaragua in the blue uniform. It's their first match, so both fighters will still have to prove themselves here. Let's see how is their form, how is their shape. That's as well the intention for many countries of this tournament, in order to check how are their sportsmen so far. Are they prepared already for the World Championship, which is coming in November in the capital of Kyrgyzstan? Just waiting for the referees to enter the mat in order to start that combat. Yeah, as mentioned before, the team of Costa Rica yesterday already took 3 golden medals. That is obviously what the home crowd wanted to see. With 3 golden medals, they definitely they are not on top of the medal table, but they are in a good position. And depending on this day, they might turn that thing around and win that medal table here on home soil. Let's see if Anthony Molina can help out to change this standing on the medal tables, but as well as mentioned, they are on a good position at the moment with their 3 gold medals of yesterday, and they had a few silver and bronze medals as well. So far, the team of Costa Rica seems well prepared for that championship here, as they already looked in May when they went to the international tournament in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, where they won as well various gold medals, and it was a competition full with fighters from the Dominican Republic, as well Colombia, Venezuela, as well sent some fighters. So it was a good trial for their Pan American Championship here in Alajuela. As far as I can see, both fighters haven't medaled in the last two editions of the Pan American Championship, last year in Colombia and 2019 in Santo Domingo. There have been other representatives in their categories. But yeah, seems like this year they managed to be on top in their countries. So let's see how prepared they are. First fight of these two fighters, and let's go. Reverie initiates the fight right now, and their first quick attempt here of the fighter of Nicaragua jumps in here, Brian Garcia, but couldn't really get the contact there. Yesterday as well mentioned for the home team of Costa Rica. They have one advantage and one disadvantage. Yeah, it's on one hand to fight at home is always good because you get the energy of your people, they are supporting you, and on the other hand you have some pressure, yeah, because kind of there are some expectations that you would take a medal. So the question here is, how is their mindset, how is their mental game, and which of both sides are they are going to focus on? Is it either the energy they take from the home crowd, or is it the pressure which they focus on? You might see in the way of fighting here right now another attempt of Garcia, jumped in with a sacrifice throw and went on to go to the arm lock, but well defended of Molina, who predicted that movement probably. Here a nice drop shoulder throw, and now is trying to work on the ground. Molina here is bringing his opponent back and is aiming for the hold down, and is he securing the hold down, because there's a good contact right now as far as I can see. I'm not sure if the referee already initiated that time. He is now at the border of the mat, so the referee might interrupt now, but he didn't. So Molina was able to hold his opponent for 20 seconds and now received 4 points here. But there are still 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. So there's still a chance for his opponent Garcia. And there was a good attempt here of he was trying to foot sweep Molina, but couldn't really control that with the upper body. Would have need to do more work here, like in a combination of foot sweep and work of the upper body. But yeah, so far I like Garcia, the fighter in blue. In the standing part, he's bringing in some good attacks. But yeah, right now, Molina was just the more clever one and using this groundwork situation here. Good drop of Garcia, went in for it, had both arms trapped, but the hips didn't go across, and now he's rolling over, was aiming for Richak Kaliena leg lock, and now Molina goes for the arm lock. Can't really get the head of Garcia under control, and that's why Garcia managed to get out of that. And now we reached the halftime of that match, and so far it doesn't look too good for Garcia. Has one penalty on the board and 4 points against him. So yeah, as we thought early on, is it the pressure or is it the energy he's taking from his from the home crowd? And it seems like Molina chose the energy he would take from them, because so far he's well controlling that. Once again, worked well on the ground, but cannot take points from a hold down anymore because he already took 4 points, so that's the maximum. He might work on an arm lock right now or on a leg lock, otherwise he cannot get any more points on the ground. In combat sambo it's different, but in sports sambo there you have a limit of points you can get using hold down. But now that he went for the arm lock, but that took a bit too long, so the referee interrupted. And here a nice attempt of Mielnica. Didn't get enough of contact, couldn't control the upper body. That's why that was unsuccessful, and there's now a second penalty for Garcia. That means one more point for Molina on the scoreboard. And now he's leading with 5 points. That's kind of comfortable. Even with a big mistake here, he would still lead. Nice attempt here. But Garcia needs to do something right now. He has to go for it. Wow, good combination here of Molina. First went for the small inner reap and then grabbed one leg in order to combine that movement. Received 1 point for it because his opponent landed on his stomach. And now he's working on the arm lock. That's really smart because there are only 35 seconds left on the clock, and for 45 more seconds he is allowed to work on the arm lock. But he needs to progress. He cannot stop in that movement. But like this, he can waste some time right now, which is bringing him obviously, which each second closer. Now he liberates the arm. And it seems like Garcia tapped out, and that's why there's the full win with 13 seconds left on the clock for Molina, and he makes it to the quarterfinal where he is going to face René Avendano from Chile. And they will battle it out for the semi-final later on. Here once again the moment where he managed to get the arm. Had a good control here. And then pulled really strong at the end. And there was one moment where Garcia tried to switch his gripping, and that was the moment Molina used to get out the arm. And yeah, now we're coming to a really interesting contest in the under 88 kilograms combat Sambo category, because we are having here Oscar Bojorge in the red uniform representing Nicaragua. Yesterday he managed to win a bronze medal in the sports Sambo category, and he's facing a really strong contender. It's Juan Contreras in the blue uniform representing Colombia. And last year, Juan Contreras, or Sebastian Contreras, managed to win the gold medal at the Pan American Championship on his home soil in Colombia, in his hometown actually. So he's the favorite for this category today. And let's see if he can repeat his victory of last year. This year we have seen him already in Santo Domingo, fighting at the international tournament, where he really as well had a great performance. Not sure actually if he won a gold medal or if he had to go home with silver, but it was a great performance of him. So he is well prepared, and let's see if he can repeat this victory of last year. I mean, definitely he has now an advantage because Oscar Bojorge had to fight already yesterday. So definitely Contreras is the more relaxed fighter in this combat. And let's see. It's a slow start. They are still checking out what can I do, how far can I go. Good movement here of Contreras. Some kicks. So imagine that Contreras has watched his fights and knows, okay, him I should stay on distance. I should focus on my kicks, in order to avoid being thrown by this large outer reap. So far, both of them are going for the punches. Here, there was a great kick, and those are 4 points because he kept standing. Bojorge didn't quite land on his back. That's why they only gave 4 points for that action. But there was a really nice action here of Contreras, who's now leading with 4 points, and here he's going up with his knee. And there it is. That's what I meant. Yeah. So as soon as it goes to the wrestling part, Bojorge is really strong. Caught him there. But yeah, for this situation right now, for this inner thigh throw, or in Russian Pathvat Iznudri, he received 1 point. Oscar Jorge from Nicaragua. And yeah, like this, he at least came a bit closer. If we are looking at the scoreboard. And now they are treating him here because he's bleeding right now. Okay, yeah. And they decided that Jorge should rather stop from this point on because he was bleeding heavily. And Sebastian Contreras won his first match here. I suppose, yeah, exactly. So here's once again a situation. Here he went with his knee to the head, but then Jorge had the contact and went for the inner thigh throw. Received 1 point for that, but I'm not sure if he injured himself in this situation, but there was a lot of blood coming out of his nose, so that's why the referees decided he should rather not participate. Obviously, we're taking care here about the health of the athletes. For sure, it can happen sometimes something, but yeah, we don't want them to get injured badly, so that's why the referees decided that Contreras in this case is the winner. He was in any case leading, and yeah, Contreras goes to the quarterfinal where he's going to face Cody Miller of the United States of America later on. And then we see if Contreras can continue his way towards defending the title as a Pan American champion. Now we continue in the over 98 kilograms category of combat sambo. Yeah, we remain with the combat sambo here, and we have a fight between Rafael de Oliveira in the red uniform representing Brazil, and Andrés Acevedo in the blue uniform representing Trinidad and Tobago. And that's going to be an interesting fight. Let's see if at least Brazil definitely had a different representative last year, and in 2019 in the Dominican Republic as well. So it's now the first fight for both of them, at least here. Now this time representing their country in the seniors category. I mean, now there is good body contact, but well countered of the fighter of Trinidad Tobago, Acevedo, who received 2 points for that action, is now leading, but right now he's finding himself in an arm lock, so he needs to be careful there with all the power his opponent has. But this arm lock is not working like this. He's now trying to move it behind his head, but yeah, referee interrupted at this point because he couldn't see any success there as well. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked actually pretty dangerous, so it wasn't correctly executed here, and that's why he received another penalty for that action. But it seems like the referees are going to have a chat about that. Yeah, so for me that looked dangerous for the shoulder, and usually when when the shoulder is in danger, like when any technique as well, leg locks are not executed correctly, the referees should interrupt, obviously, to avoid that any of the sportsmen would be injured. Now he's explaining something. I wonder what. Probably he's explaining exactly this rule to him, because he received a penalty for that. Ah, okay. So yeah, it's not a penalty. It was a direct disqualification he received here. So it's Acevedo of Trinidad Tobago who is going to the semi-final, where he is going to face Jorge Miselem of Honduras later on, and then they are going to see who will be in the final. Good news for Acevedo by this win here. There we can see once again. So like he was just pushing his arm behind his head. That's not how this arm lock is executed. And that's really dangerous for the whole shoulder of Acevedo here. Yeah, like this, that's too dangerous. That's why the referees decided here to disqualify the fighter from Brazil. As I wanted to say, Acevedo now, by moving into the semi-final, he secured himself a medal already. Even if he would lose the semi-final, he would stay with a bronze medal. So I guess for Trinidad Tobago, that's a great message already. Yeah, taking a medal here in this over 98 kilogram men's category in combat sambo. And we continue on the other half of the draw with the fight between Felix Trujillo in the red uniform representing Nicaragua, and he's facing Jose Hernandez in the blue uniform representing the United States of America. And let's have a look as well about them. Have they been representing their respective countries last year in Colombia, or did these countries send a different fighter? Yeah, it seems like last year the United States had a Pan American champion who isn't representing the United States this year anymore. So this time it's Jose Hernandez. And last year Nicaragua didn't send anybody in this category. So, but we have seen as well, which is a good message, that Sambo has been developing well in Nicaragua lately with the university, the National University Championship, which was which was held, I suppose in June, recently. So we see Nicaragua, the interest of Sambo in Nicaragua is growing more and more. So that's why as well they are sending more participants now to the Pan American Championship here in Costa Rica this year. It's not too far away, that's as well probably a great deal. Could have arrived with Tika bus. All the Latinos who are listening right now, they will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's great to see the team of Nicaragua here participating and fighting for medals. Just checked. 6 medals they took yesterday. That's really great. Yeah? And of these 6 medals, they had 2 silver medals. Yeah, so twice they have been to the final here. Let's see if they can continue that. Yeah, that's a really great great story here that Nicaragua is bringing a strong team. And now, let's see, can Trujillo continue that? And that was a huge throw. A front suplex, went on for it, threw him onto his back, 4 points, and now is securing the hold down. And if he can secure that for 20 seconds, then he is through to the semi-final, holding down here Hernandez of the United States. And there he received some punches against the back of his head. Yeah, that's why there is a penalty for Hernandez. There should be 2 more points for Trujillo now, because he held him down for 17 seconds. Not sure why they don't give this 2 points. Maybe there was something wrong. And once again here, a great front suplex, receives himself 1 more point. And he's fighting great on the ground here, but needs to be careful now. If he's leaving the mat, then it will be interrupted. He's still inside of the mat with 1 foot, and now he left it. So far 6 points for Trujillo, and he's starting great here. 1 minute into the contest, and he is close to win that contest. And there is another penalty for Hernandez, so there's only 1 point left, and then Trujillo would take the win and would make it into the semi-final. And in the semi-final, he would face a fighter from Panama. And now, what's going to happen? Some great punches here of Hernandez, strong punches. Trujillo finds himself at the edge of the mat. Receives a penalty for leaving the mat. His first penalty. And now, he's close again. Opala. Was that a knockout? Or what did just happen? I couldn't see it well from this camera angle. Not sure if he got knocked out. He got knocked out. That's a story right now. Wow. So, with 1 point left for Trujillo to go, Jose Hernandez really didn't lose it and managed to get a knockout, a direct knockout, and to win this fight. So, although we couldn't expect it anymore, but that's what this all about. What combat sambo is all about. That it can be dangerous for anybody till the very last second, and that's what Jose Hernandez just proved. Yeah, he was down with 7 points. Only 1 point would have decided for Trujillo, but he kept his head clear and managed to. There, now it happened. Yeah. So with this punch towards the head of Trujillo, he knocked him out and got the direct win, and he's going to face Andres Molina from Panama in the semi-final later on. That was now really unexpected. I'm still surprised. Okay, that means we continue with the under 79 kilogram men's category in sports sambo, where we have the quarterfinal between Gutierrez in the red uniform representing Bolivia and Artola in the blue uniform representing Nicaragua. It's the first fight of this category of today. Exactly. Gutierrez Flores of Bolivia and Cristian Artola of Nicaragua. So as mentioned before, Nicaragua already had a great day yesterday. Bolivia, not so much. I mean, they won one gold medal. Yeah, that's what we have to mention. The other fighters, they had some kind of bad luck. So because all the Bolivians I saw fighting, they fought great. Yeah, so they were battling here on a really high level, but at the end, always um, had some kind of bad luck, probably, or couldn't really make it. Right now, here as well. And now Artola is securing a hold down. If he's holding him down here now for 20 seconds, he will take a lead with 4 points. And it looks like he's controlling that. Oh, wow. Now he's getting out. So 2 points for that. And now Gutierrez Flores is trying to go for an arm lock, and he gets now the time to work on it. If his opponent manages to stand up completely, yeah, there it is. The referee has to interrupt. So I couldn't really see the clock, so I'm not sure if he really hold him down for 20 seconds or less, because at the end he managed to escape from that position. So he might have had like 18. That would mean 2 points for Artola from Nicaragua. Let's see. Okay, we continue with the next quarterfinal here of the under 79 kilogram category between Herminio Mora of Costa Rica and the red uniform representing, well, as mentioned, Costa Rica, and his opponent in the blue uniform, Carlos Gamboa, are representing Panama. We have seen Mora already yesterday in the under 79 kilogram combat sambo category. I'm not sure if he managed to take a medal there. Let's have a look at that. In the combat sambo yesterday, yeah, he was into the final actually. Yeah, so Mora already took a silver medal yesterday, and let's see if he can repeat that success now in the sports sambo discipline. I mean, those are two completely different disciplines. Yesterday, he had the opportunity as well to punch and kick and strangle. That's not possible here in sports sambo. So let's see if his opponent from Panama can change something about the flow Mora is in. So after the first 40 seconds, no points, no penalties for anybody of these two fighters. And now here's at the edge of the mat, Gamboa. So he's going to receive a penalty for leaving the mat here. Orientation is really important for the athletes. Yeah, they have to understand, they have to feel where on the contest area they find themselves. And if they are at the edge of the mat, then they will have to try to avoid stepping out. And if then they step out, that's well, like this, they award penalties, yeah, and that's what just happened with Gamboa here. His first penalty so far. It's not a big deal. With some points, he can correct that little disadvantage he has here. And right now, receives his second penalty far. That's why there's 1 point now on the scoreboard for Mora, who's taking a small lead here, but with penalties. Yeah? So 2 more penalties for Gamboa would result in a disqualification for this fight. It's a tactical fight, bringing in sometimes some attacks, which haven't been too dangerous so far, but at least he's attacking. Here, that was a really good drop shoulder, leading with 2 points here. Gamboa just dropped right now under his opponent. So Mora is trying to secure the hold down. The referee is now signalizing that the hold down is running. Needs to hold him down for 20 seconds now. And that looks pretty safe here. Pretty stable in this hold down. Not a lot of chance for Gamboa to get out of that. So here 20 seconds passed. 4 points for Mora, and now he's comfortably leading with 6 points in this. So 2 more points missing, and then he would get into the quarterfinal, where he would face Cristian Artola. Okay, and that was the win for Mora. He is into the quarterfinal. He's actually into the semi-final here. Into the semi-final, where he's going to face then Cristian Artola, where they are going to battle it out for the final. And the next fight is between Raul Vasquez of Mexico. He's going to be in the red uniform, and he's going to face Jeffrey Roy from the Dominican Republic, who is going to be in the blue uniform. Have we seen any of them? I mean, I feel like I know this name. Probably we have seen Roy yesterday in the combat discipline. So today, here in sports Sambo, If I'm not mistaken, yesterday he didn't take a medal. So let's see if he can change that today. Raul Vasquez from Mexico here. These two are now already battling it out for the semi-final, and there the opponent is already known because he had a bye in the first round. They will fight against Kevin Urbina from Honduras for the final. So exactly, their opponent is already clear on the sheet. Now the question is only, can Vasquez make it to the semi-final or Roy? Let's see. 5 minutes of contest start right now. Now they have 5 minutes time to get an advantage of points and win after these 5 minutes have passed, or they can already win by a submission, for example, on the ground with a leg lock, with an arm lock, or by reaching 8 points of difference, so like 8 points more than their opponent, then that's a direct win. Or if they execute a beautiful technique, throwing their opponent on his back, and here that was a good Patakhvat Isnutri attempt of Vasquez, who almost managed to throw his opponent with that technique, but couldn't really quite finish it. Yeah, as mentioned, if he... Wow, that was a great attack here. Dropped right under him, a nice shoulder throw, trapped both arms, rolled over and brought him onto his back. So 4 points for Vasquez here after 1 minute into the contest. So he's now leading, and now Roy needs to come back with a big attack in order to close this gap now, which Vasquez created. But he's looking for both arms, yeah. Once again, right now here. Good gripping of Vasquez, really good gripping. So manages to get distance here once again. The inner thigh throw could be 1 point, yeah. Exactly. He threw him onto his shoulder with this Pathvat Isnutri, as the Russian translation is of this technique. Is leading now with 5 points, and so far he isn't looking in danger. So there wasn't a big attack of Roy, and there's a good gripping here once again. Nice technique. 1 more point for Vasquez. Dropped right under him with this brasok через spinu. Yeah, the throw with help of his back. Has now 6 points on the scoreboard and is only missing 2 points in order to win directly. And there are a bit more than 2.5 minutes left to go. So yeah, that's what I meant with the good gripping. So he has here this grip in the neck of his opponent. So like this, he can maintain some distance, but as well attack whenever he likes to. And so far his inner thigh throw has been kind of dangerous. There it is once again, and there he brings him onto his side, rolls over and receives 2 more points for that. And that means he has 8 points now, and that's why the referee is showing, yeah, that contest finished. The direct full win for Vasquez. who is going into the semi-final, where he is facing Kevin Urbina from Honduras later on, to figure out who might continue dreaming of becoming the Pan American champion of this year in Alajuela, Costa Rica. There, once again, beautifully executed already at the beginning. He attempted that technique and that was close, and right now at the end it was successful. Threw him onto his back and secured the win in this quarterfinal. Okay, we continue with the under 64 kilograms men's category, and we have a fight between Goff in the red uniform representing Honduras and Pedro Flores of Mexico in the blue uniform. Mexico had a brilliant day yesterday. They won in total 5 gold medals. So this Mexican team arrived really well prepared. And let's see if Flores can continue with this good performance here of his teammates. First attempt by Goff. And here a nice sacrifice throw brings him down onto his side and is now looking for the Valeboy Canareca, but they are outside of the mat. So good, entered really well, but well, he was outside of the mat, so the referee had to interrupt. There were 2 points for this sacrifice throw. Flores attempted, or executed, to be honest. So he's leading here, 4 minutes left to go. And Goff is still trying, so that's good. Yeah, he's trying. He got a good grip here, and that was a nice one. Yeah, that was some sort of Melnica, some sort of fireman's carry, rolled over, but the referee had already before interrupted that situation, so that's why they didn't give a point for that, but they could have given. Well done here, nice double leg takedown. Brought him down onto his side and is now securing the hold down. Received 1 point for that double leg takedown and has now a really well secured hold down here. So I suppose he won't have any problems to hold him for 20 seconds and take 4 more points. That would mean he would have right now 7 points on the scoreboard, and he continues there really quick. That's a really nice transition which we are seeing here for the arm lock, and here he could now waste time or try to finish his opponent, and he's looking good. There he gets the arm out, but his opponent is turning well. Yeah, turned in the other direction, so the arm lock is not working anymore. Really well defended here of Goff. He was at the edge of losing that contest, but you can see the pain in his face. That was probably a really tricky situation for him. Halftime, so 2.5 minutes left in this contest, and yeah, right now there was the last attempt here, a big hip throw of Flores, and he receives 1 point for it as, first of all, only the shoulder of Goff touched the floor. Ah, yeah, the fight is over. Exactly, so it's Mexico who makes it to the semifinal. And yeah, so far we don't know who is going to be his opponent. It's either Acosta from Uruguay or Born from Trinidad Tobago. But if we haven't seen that fight, probably Born didn't show up. So it might be Acosta who is going to face Flores in the semifinal later on. But we're going to have a look. Who's next? Maybe they just switch the order of this combat and we will see him later on. Okay, yeah, might be. It might be that Acosta is already in the semifinal. And in the next match, we are going to have, for the home crowd, once again representing Costa Rica, Anthony Molina in the red uniform. We have seen him earlier on winning against Brian Garcia from Nicaragua. And he will face René Avendano from Chile. We have lately seen that as well. The Chilean Federation is developing well. Avendano himself has been training for a pretty long period in Russia and has now his own Sambo club in Santiago de Chile, where they are organizing some tournaments, some national tournaments. And yeah, let's see if he can use that experience and that knowledge he earned in Russia now in this contest here, bringing his opponent to the edge of the mat. We have seen Molina early on winning by a hold down he executed there against his opponent from Nicaragua. And Avendano had a bye in the first round, so it's his first contest here in this quarterfinal. Now can he work on the ground? Couldn't turn him over there so far. Didn't find his grip, his perfect grip. Right now his gripping is looking strong. Yeah, he's controlling really well the arm of Molina. And yeah, Molina is having a hard time there to get himself a good position. So Avendano only has to attack, and that was a really good attack here. Dropped deep under him with this Brasochiris Spinu. Came all the way up. That was really well, and yeah, he looked more active now in this first 1.5 minutes. So that's why there's a second penalty for the Chilean fighter and the first point for Molina on the scoreboard. Avendano has to bring in an attack now. Tried it with a deep body drop here, but lost the control at the end. But a first attack of him, so that's good. He understood the warnings of the referees. Yeah, he has to change something about his style right now. Only gripping is not sufficient. Here a nice large inner reap he attempted here. Oh wow, haven't seen that a lot so far. This scissor technique, but wasn't successful and earned himself a penalty for that. That means the fight is even again on the scoreboard. 1 point for each fighter. So Avendano is back in this contest. And that's a good one. That's a really good one here. Mielnica, the fireman's carry, beautifully executed, threw him right onto his back and received 4 points for that, and now is into the arm lock and looks like Avendano lifted him up that very little bit and managed to escape from that situation. But yeah, so right now Molina is leading that, and that was a well executed technique. Yeah, he dropped onto his knees, had the contact of arm and leg, like brought both really close to each other, and then lifted his opponent up and threw him right onto his back. So that's why he deserved that 4 points here. And Avendano is going for, we haven't seen that often right now, Strigunok. It's a kind of mix of sacrifice throw and foot sweep. And here there was a good large inner reap of Molina, which brought his opponent down onto his stomach. That's why he received 1 more point for that. Now 5 points lead for Molina, 6-1. And right now it's not looking really good for the Chilean fighter, because he would have to bring in some huge attacks right now in this last minute. Let's see if he can still turn that fight. Referees just had a little chat, but didn't change anything about the score. No penalties, no additional scores on the board. There, once again, the Strigunok attack. I might have given here 1 point. Exactly. So the second referee is now signalizing 1 more point. So there are now 2 points for Avendano on the scoreboard. Can he work it out on the floor? This rollover, I'm not sure if they are going to give a score for that, because it was on the ground. It had initiated on the ground. If one of them would have been in a standing position, they might have counted that, but like this not. So now the last 25 seconds, and Avendano needs to go for it. Here once again the Strigunok attempt, but lands in a hold down, which Molina can't secure. So 10 seconds left. 7 seconds left, and he needs 4 more points. Avendano not really trying anymore here with a double leg takedown, but yeah, Molina takes the win here and moves on to the semi-final. And yeah, so far we don't know who's going to be in the semi-final facing him. But we are going to figure out. It's going to be either Cody Tinta of Bolivia or Taylor Weber of the United States of America. One of them is going to face the home crowd favorite Molina, who is on his way to take another medal for Costa Rica today. Let's see. Bolivia against the United States of America. Bolivia in the red uniform, the United States of America this time in blue. Referees are entering the mat, waiting for the sportsman to arrive. So here we see a repetition. That was right after the fireman's carry of Molina. There he was close to get a submission with this arm lock. And okay, yeah, we skipped that contest. Maybe one of them didn't arrive. We are now continuing with one of my favorite fighters here, Sebastian Contreras from Colombia in the red uniform, the reigning Pan American champion last year, won the Pan American Championship in Colombia, and he is facing, wow, that was a quick attack here. He is facing Cody Miller of the United States of America, which is in the blue uniform. There's the first penalty for Contreras right now. Contreras won his first fight, well executing a kick, and managed to get his opponent onto the ground, kept standing. That's why he received 4 points. And then after that, his opponent from Nicaragua started leading heavily. And there is a good attack here, big hip attack of Contreras. Can't see so far if they gave a point for that technique, but 1 point probably. Yeah, 1 point on the scoreboard. Contreras is now leading that match here in the quarterfinal against his opponent from America. We've seen Contreras in Santo Domingo participating at the international tournament, which was organized by the Dominican Republic, by the Sambo Federation of the Dominican Republic. And yeah, that was a slam here. Actually thought Miller would control this action, but then Contreras managed to change the control and landed on top of him, so he earned 2 points for that situation. But what are 2 points in combat sambo? That can be switched so quickly. We have seen the fight of Nicaragua against the United States in the over 98 kilogram category, where Nicaragua was leading with 7 points and then has been knocked out. So 3 points lead, and right now actually only 2 points lead. It doesn't mean a lot. So we continue here. Contreras still leading with 1 point in that match, but that's a close match here. And Miller is pushing forward. And right now that was a big technique, but not sure who initiated it. They gave 4 points. It looked like inner thigh throw of Contreras, which was then taken over at the floor, like on the ground of Miller. So that's why they are going to have a look at the slow motion right now, because that was for me as well difficult to see. Contreras entered that action, like initiated that action, and then Miller rolled him over on the floor. So that might either be, yeah, I would say rather a score for Colombia, because this rolling over on the floor, that was a bit too late. But Contreras might not receive the 4 points for it, but at least two or 1 point for that technique. Let's have a look at it. The referees, yeah, I have seen now the gesture that that they are considering the counter attack here of Miller. Oh, I mean, we're at the halftime of the contest, so there is going to happen still a lot. And yeah, as we know it from the last year, Contreras is really dangerous here with all his attacks. And now we're going to see what is the decision of the referees of this action, which we have seen previously. Yeah, they give 2 points for Miller for this counter attack. He countered him there right at the end of the attack Contreras put in, so now he's leading there. And Contreras is going there for his trademark kick. Yeah, right at the edge of the mat, Miller managed to put in another attempt, or another attack actually, because he receives 1 point for it. Does he? So Contreras was trying to push Miller out of the contest area in order to make the referees give him another penalty, but Miller reacted pretty well by bringing in this this really nice knee wheel there. So there we can see now Contreras is pushing him out. There is the push, and then here rotating, kind of a knee wheel. Didn't really lift up his leg, but brought him down. But Contreras landed on his elbow, so that's why they didn't give a point for that. And that was a huge throw right now. 4 points, and now Contreras is finding himself in this hold down, and that looks really well secured. And if he can hold him down there for this whole 20 seconds, then Miller will secure this win, and he would be in the semi-final. Okay, that was close. That was really close. So he received 2 more points for that hold down, and now this penalty he receives results in 1 more point for Miller, and that means an 8-point difference. And with that 8-point difference, he would have won. I'm not sure. They are now treating Miller. Not sure if they want to change something about the score or about the penalty, but it looks like Miller won that fight. Yeah, the fight is over. Contreras, the reigning Pan American champion, has been beaten by Cody Miller, who now moves on to the semi-final, and we're going to see now who is going to be his opponent, because there we have a fight between Miguel Barcenas, who yesterday took the title in the sports Sambo discipline, and last year at the combat championship, or at the Pan American championship in the combat discipline, he took a silver medal, losing out against Contreras in the final. So with Barcenas, we definitely have one of the favorites here of this draw, and he's facing Edgar Jaques of the Dominican Republic. So let's see who of them is going to be the one who's trying to stop Cody Miller from taking a gold medal today in this category. There now you can see it. We are going to have Miguel Barcenas in the red uniform representing Mexico, and Edgar Jaques in the blue uniform representing the Dominican Republic. We're going to have a change of the referees right now, as they are always turning to take a break, to not get into routine here. Barcenas stepping on the mat with gold medal on his chest of yesterday's under 88 kilogram sports Sambo discipline. There he managed to beat the last year's Pan American champion from the United States of America, Zulinski, threw him beautifully with the fireman's carry with Mielnica for 4 points in that final. And let's see if in the combat Sambo discipline he has the same abilities. He looked actually like a wrestler yesterday to me. He was standing pretty deep and always going for this double leg takedown, single leg takedown, and then at the end in the final with that beautiful fireman's carry here. Once again, this double leg takedown brings his opponent down onto the floor and is taking a lead with 2 points here. Barcenas looks really in shape there once again, going down for it, but there was a huge counter by Jaques. Threw him for 4 points there and is now holding him down, but lost the control. So 4 points for Jaques, and he's now taking the lead here. That was probably pretty surprising for Barcenas. He haven't been thrown yesterday big, and now he's bleeding, I'm not sure, out of his nose. Yeah, anyhow, they are treating him. So that was a huge upset for him right now. Or definitely he was shocked by this big attack here of Edgar Jaques from the Dominican Republic, who really countered him there with some sort of suplex, throwing him onto his back. We have seen a little dance of Jaques right now. I'm not sure if there was a winner's dance already, or if he was just trying to relax himself. Maybe he had some issues with the hip. But looked like, to me, it looked like a dancing move. There is now the double leg takedown of Jaques, actually the favorite technique of Barcenas. Received 4 more points for that action, and now there are only 2 points to go for Jaques in order to win that fight here. And I guess Barcenas didn't expect that after starting pretty well here and winning yesterday's tournament. But that's as well definitely something we have to consider, that Barcenas already yesterday put all his effort in and probably doesn't have so much fuel in the tank today anymore. And now he's bleeding again, so it's the second time they need to treat him. Yeah. If that wouldn't stop, they might consider taking him out of the tournament, kind of disqualifying him from this combat. Yeah, but you can see Jaques is definitely having a show there, playing a bit with the crowd, dancing a bit. So that was definitely a dance early on. I thought he was just stretching. Um, well, maybe that's his way to deal with pressure. But yeah, let's let's keep the fair play here. And well, maybe Barcenas can come back, but seems like he kind of bleeded a lot there. And they are cleaning up the mat right now. Pretty big spot they cleaned there. Let's see Barcenas right now, yeah, with his double leg takedown. Was so far really successful and was successful in the very first seconds, but then has been surprised twice by Jaques, the Dominican fighter. And there is going again. And now can he counter that? Barcenas. Or yeah, that's going to go for a Richak Caliena leg lock. And if he can twist him over now, that's going to be really dangerous for Jaques. But Jaques is great defending that. Yeah, he defended that really well. I thought if he would roll over right now, Barcenas, he would have him there in a really dangerous situation, but couldn't quite continue with that movement. And there's the first penalty towards Barcenas. Now he needs to be careful. He's at the edge of losing. Here, once again, the double leg takedown. Great shoulder throw. Now has to be careful because Jaques is bringing in his knee there towards the ribs. Barcenas really doesn't want his ribs to break here with 6 points down. And that's a huge technique. Great shoulder throw. Pinned his opponent, but now finds himself in the hold down. He received 4 points for that technique. He could afford himself right now to be hold down, but he wouldn't want that because right now he is close again. Yeah, he was down for 6 points, and now there are only 2 points to go. But that's what the combat sambo is all about. Yeah, situations can change within seconds, and right now it doesn't look too difficult anymore for Barcenas to come back. Before I was like, might be tricky, but with 2 minutes left to go, and well, only right now 3 points, he can still do that. And maybe he will, as yesterday he showed such a great performance, winning this Pan American Championship in the sport discipline with beautiful techniques, and he was beating some great fighters there. So there he goes once again for the double leg takedown, trying to go up. Not sure if they considered that one here as a counter attack, but yeah, referee is asking the sportsman to go to their corner in order to have a look at the slow motion, because Barcenas attacked with this double leg takedown, and then Jaques countered him with the inner thigh throw. Barcenas kind of landed on his shoulder, and I'm not sure if they might consider here giving 1 point for Barcenas or for Jaques, as both of them landed somehow on the scoring part of their body. but they are asking for more referees to have a look at that situation. Because right now, I mean, there are only 3 points between them, but any point now can make a decision. And now the referees made a decision. Let's have a look what it's going to be. Yeah, there was 1 point for this counter attack of Jaques. And once again, they need to treat Barcenas. So Jaques is once again leading with 4 points. Nothing Barcenas couldn't change. I'm sure of that, but I mean, Jaques so far is showing a great performance here. He has thrown him twice big and added up some small scores to the board. But Barcenas is always dangerous, so let's have a look. The vice Pan American champion in combat sambo from last year, and there he has been punched into his face. And yeah, you can see that Jaques is happy. Yeah, that was some sort of knockout, was it? Barcenas is standing on his feet. Yeah, but was standing on his feet, kind of tired. You could see that Jaques really knocked him out. So Jaques it is, who is through to the semi-final, where he is going to face Cody Miller later on, who overcame the other finalists of the last year. So right now Jaques beat the vice champion of the last year, and Cody Miller beat the champion of the last year. So that means we are going to have the King Slayers facing each other in the semi-final. It's going to be Cody Miller against Edgar Jaques later on. Right now, we will continue with the fight between Dilber Alave from Bolivia, who's going to face Everton Bespales from Brazil in the other half of the draw in their respective quarterfinal. We have seen Alave yesterday in the under 88 kilogram category. I guess there he took a 7th place, no, probably a 5th place. Yeah, I guess he lost out against Oscar Bojorge in the bronze medal match, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Bespales we haven't seen yesterday, so it's the first time he's going to step onto the mat today, or actually in this event. And yeah, after that we have another fight between Honduras and Guatemala in this same category. There they are stepping onto the mat in the red uniform representing Bolivia, Dilber Alave, and in the blue uniform representing Brazil, Everton Bespales. We're still in the under 88 kilogram men's category. in combat Sambo. And wow, there was a deep kick here of Bespales towards the knee. Have seen him falling already, Alave, but he remained on his feet. Yeah, some strong kicks there by Bespales, and now with the double leg takedown, took 2 points. I'm not sure how much it was. There are 2 points on the scoreboard. So now Bespales from Brazil is leading this quarterfinal contest. There was actually a good combination before, like he put in some good kicks and then went on to execute a double leg takedown. Wow, that was a high kick towards the head. I haven't seen that coming, and I think Alave also wasn't able to predict that. Right now they're on the ground. Alave is trying to work there, but now as well trying it with punches. Thought he might go for an arm lock. Would have to rotate 90 degrees. But yeah, as well, Bespales now wasn't able to secure a hold down there. If he would have managed to bring his chest close to the upper body of his Bolivian opponent, he would have secured that hold down. And there once again the kick to the head and this huge double leg takedown here, and securing the hold down. And I guess Alave was kind of surprised by that technique. So 4 points for that throw, and now probably 4 more points for the hold down, and that would mean that Bespales is through to the semi-final. There it is. The fight is over. Bespales is into the semi-final, and there was a great performance here. Yeah? So first of all, this high kick towards the head, and combined that then with a double leg takedown and made a great transition on the ground, hold him down for 10 seconds to secure 2 points. And now that's the sportsmanship which we like to see here once again in the slow motion. We see first of all the high kick of Bespales right now. There you see it towards the head, reaches the head, and that's what shocked Alave. And then the double leg takedown brought him onto his back, 4 points, and made the transition really quick into the hold down, and finished him there on the ground. That's why Bespales is now in the semi-final, and we are going to see who will be his opponent there. Or maybe one of his opponents has a bye. That's why we move on to the over 98 kilograms men's category in combat sambo, where we see Acevedo. Acevedo won against Brazil in his first round, and now he's facing his opponent from Honduras, Jorge Miselem, who is now stepping onto the mat in the blue uniform. So there he initiates that fight with a big kick, and there's a huge throw of Miselem, who received 4 points for that, and looks like he would finish that fight here really quick with that hold down immediately, holding his opponent down there. And now the last seconds are ticking away, 2, 1, and those are 4 more points, and that's how Miselem just finished his opponents within 36 seconds, and he made his way into the finals. So it is Honduras who has a finalist. Oh, it seems like they don't have. Thought he would have finished him here right now with that hold down. Maybe he didn't receive 4 points for that throw, but maybe right now he is now allowed to hold him down once again. And that looks fine. But now Acevedo managed to get out of that as he rolled over and didn't touch the floor anymore with his shoulders, and that's necessary to secure the hold down. Otherwise, the referees have to interrupt here. So 2 more points necessary for the fighter from Honduras in order to make it to the final. I have celebrated him already a bit too early, seems like. And there's a good attempt of Acevedo. And now, that it is. Slammed him onto his back. But they didn't count that technique. Instead, they give a penalty to Acevedo here. And yeah, right now, there it is. That was the final counter attack, which should... Yeah, that's how he achieved the last missing 2 points right now. With this 2 points, he is into the final. So in the final, it is Honduras, and we are going to figure out now who will be his opponent. It's either Jose Hernandez of the United States or Andres Molina of Panama. Let's have a look who it's going to be. And here once again we have the slow motion of this last counter attack, which gave him 2 points. So he is having a good grip around the waist of his opponent, and then goes down deep with his hip, under the balance of his opponent, pulled him back and threw him onto his side, and the side goes is 2 points. That's how he managed to get 8 points in this contest and made it to the final. So Honduras has 1 fighter in the final already now today, and we will see who will be his opponent. We have now in the red uniform representing the United States of America, Jose Hernandez, facing in the blue uniform, Andres Molina, representing Panama. We haven't seen Molina yet today, as he had a bye in the first round, but we have seen Jose Hernandez, and that was a really spectacular fight. Hernandez was down with 7 points in his first match against Felix Trujillo, and then managed to knock him out in order to secure the win. So that was really unexpected. Let's see if he can repeat that. So it seems like Hernandez is really good in punching. Trujillo, we had seen him already yesterday, so he was good in throwing all these wrestling techniques. Right now, a single leg takedown brings him down onto his side. Those might be 2 points. And now they are out of the contest area. So far they didn't give points. Yeah, there are the 2 points for that single leg takedown of Hernandez. So definitely there's an advantage here of Molina, who now threw or countered his opponent from the United States, fell onto him and earned himself 4 points for that counter attack. But now there's a hold down. Hernandez holds him down, but that doesn't look too safe so far. I can imagine that Molina could come out by bringing up his right arm. There's a headbutt of Hernandez, still counting the hold down. He receives 2 points for it. Hold him down there for 20 seconds. And now Hernandez is back in that fight. What I wanted to say that Molina has some kind of advantage here with his height. So if he manages to hold him in a distance, I know that was a great counter attack here by Hernandez. Received probably 2 more points for that. Maybe they gave him 2 more points for that action. So Molina now has to be careful. Actually, he always gets into a really good position there, trying to grip deep onto the back of Hernandez, and then he needs to make a good combination, back and forth. But there are some great punches by Hernandez, and once again this huge suplex here earns himself 2 more points. So now he's leading with 6 points. No, they changed that. Yeah, because his opponent landed flat on his back, and that means 4 points. So it's Jose Hernandez who is going to be in the final facing Jorge Nisenem of Honduras, and that's going to be a really interesting final, as both sportsmen really showed a great performance today, and they were dominating their opponents. So two really dominant fighters in the final of this over 98 kilograms combat Sambo category. That's going to be really interesting. You will later see them in the final block fighting against each other, battling it out for the gold medal and obviously the honor of the Pan American champion of 2022 here in Costa Rica, Alajuela. Yeah, in total, 20 countries which are participating at this year's Pan American Championship in Costa Rica. We have whole North America with Canada, United States, and Mexico participating. Then we have of Central America, Honduras, Nicaragua, El Salvador, and obviously many South American countries like Argentina, Chile, Bolivia. We have Ecuador, we have Colombia. So many countries arrived here in order to represent their nation and to win a medal here. We are seeing now the fight between Artola in the red uniform representing Nicaragua and Mora in the blue uniform representing Costa Rica. Mora earlier on won his fight against his opponent of Panama, and he was fighting there really good. That's now the under 79 kilogram category. Sports Sambo. Yesterday we have already seen Molina participating in the combat Sambo section. That's now the semi-final, so obviously the home crowd is looking forward for Mora to win, to have another finalist, and later on support him in the final block to go for the gold medal. Here, great attempt of a large inner reap, but you have seen as well that that Artola Christian was prepared for that and blocked him out on this attempt. Mora won his first contest against Gutierrez of Bolivia. Here, once again, a good attack of Mora. Couldn't quite control the arm, but it was his second attack, and that's why there is the first passivity warning for Artola in this semi-final. And you can see that Mora, although his attempts are not really successful because he still has there a big distance, he is active here because we haven't seen a big attack of Artola so far. And yeah, you can right now see him dropping. Those are kind of desperate attacks here of Mora, but still they award him another or a point for the second penalty. That means his active tactic or strategy is at the moment fine, and there's another attempt here. But he's too far away, so Artola is kind of well controlling the gripping. But it's not only about the gripping, he as well needs to be active in order to not get more penalties. And here is another attempt. That was sort of mix of a shoulder throw and a fireman's carry he attempted here. But once again, he was way too far away and couldn't lift his opponent up. So here, once again, the question is if at one point Artola understands that, first of all, he needs to be active and that the attacks of Mora aren't the best attacks, so he might be, or he might try to counter such an attack in order to get away with a point. But yeah, so far he didn't find the right strategy to face Mora. Here, once again, Mora dropped, and Artola is not using that to his favor. So maybe his coach can give him some hints, because there's already the third. No, it wasn't the third penalty. It was the first penalty right now for Mora, because there were a few bad attacks, and we can't count all the bad attacks as activity. Yeah. That's why the first penalty here for Mora, and 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. So there's the fight is still open. Anybody can go. Here there was a drop shoulder throw attempt of Mora again, but in all of his attacks he's way too far away, and like this he won't be able to score. But he's going. He's actually trying to win by penalties, I suppose. And Artola looks like he's waiting still for the perfect moment to execute his favorite technique, which so far I don't know which is it. And there is the counter. That's what I meant, yeah? Like Mora went in and he changed the direction, like Artola changed the direction, tried to push him over, but there was not enough of a control. That's why they couldn't give a point for that counterattack. But Artola really needs to do something now, because there's only 1 minute left to go. And right now there is a second penalty for Mora. So that changes everything now, because right now it's it's Artola who can win. So now you can see that Artola now becomes really active as he knows that the power of Mora is gone, and that might have been the better tactic, yeah, to wait for a while and let Mora waste all his energy. And now there's a good gripping of Artola, a really bad attack here of Mora, and let's see. That's going to be really interesting here with 24 seconds left on the board. Um, so right now Artola would win that contest. And here another bad attack of Mora. Which you can't really count. And exactly that's why there is another penalty for Mora, and the win goes to Cristian Artola of Nicaragua, who is into the final of this really prestigious weight category. So Nicaragua has a finalist in here, and Costa Rica will have to aim for a bronze medal, and there he is going to face Gutierrez Flores of Brazil, of Bolivia, I'm sorry. And yeah, we don't know yet who will be the opponent of Artola in the final, but we are going to figure out soon, as we have there the match between Raúl Vázquez of Mexico against Kevin Urbina of Honduras. And Kevin Urbina we have seen already yesterday in the combat discipline fighting. Not sure if he took a medal there. Let's have a look at that. Kevin Urbina, I remember definitely that he has been on the mat kind of often in the under 79. Yeah, yesterday he won a bronze medal in the combat Sambo discipline in the under 79 kilogram category. So today in sports Sambo here in the semi-final facing Raúl Vázquez, who is in the red uniform representing Mexico, and Kevin Urbina in the blue uniform representing Honduras. Let's see who can keep his mind clear in order to make it to the final and face their Cristian Artola from Nicaragua. Kevin Urbina yesterday, that's why I remembered him. He really put in a lot of effort, and I have seen him often on the mat. But right now here, Raúl Vázquez already in his first fight against the Dominican Republic showed some really nice techniques, a really nice Pathvat Iznutri inner thigh throw. Here it is once again. Always attacking well with that technique, but it's not really pulling to the end. And now the first 45 seconds are over, and Urbina didn't put in any attack. That's why there is the first penalty towards Urbina now on his scoreboard. And there, could that be? Oh wow, that was it. Yeah, Pathvat Isnutri. Now this time he pulled well towards the end and received 4 points for that technique. Well executed there. Was upright till the very end, and now that's a really good grip here of Urbina. Is trying the same technique, but dropped. So that was definitely the positive aspect of the attack of Vasquez before, that he kept being upright while throwing, so he could control the whole movement till the very end. If you drop too early with your head and you're going down, like even touching the ground with your head, then there is not so much of a control. Or obviously we have seen many sportsmen being able to control such a deep technique, especially if we, for example, refer to Georgian fighters, or fighters from Azerbaijan. Um, they usually execute this inner thigh throw like this, but it's not the rule. It's probably just um, the way how they like to execute it, or maybe their talent. But yeah, the traditional way to execute it is like Vasquez just showed in the very first occasion, where he scored 4 points. And now he's leading here with 5 points already, because Kevin Urbina received a second penalty as he was not active enough. And there is an attempt, at least, of Urbina, but fell a bit backwards, and that's why he couldn't control that movement pretty well. But he's always having a good grip there in the neck of Vasquez, but is not able to use that advantage. And Vasquez is coming forward here with another Pathvatis Nutri, throwing his opponent onto his shoulder, so receives another point for that, and is now leading comfortably with 6 points and 2 minutes and around 10 seconds left to go. Still doesn't have any penalty on the scoreboard, so he could even finish that fight like this right now, tactically blocking out the attempts of his opponent and not risking a lot anymore. But I could imagine that he's going for the full win here, dropping underneath him. And now there's a arm lock attempt, but couldn't really get the elbow between his legs. So that's why that was easy for Vasquez to defend. And we continue here with the semi-final in the under 64 kilogram category. And there we have Acosta of Uruguay in the red uniform facing his opponent from Mexico, which is what's his name? There we have him. It's the semifinal against Flores from Mexico in the blue uniform. We have seen both fighters earlier on fighting one time each. Acosta placed 5th at the last year's Pan American Championship in Colombia, and she showed an impressive first round match against Guatemala. But as well, Flores from Mexico impressed in his first round against his opponent from Honduras, threw him various times, and right now as well leading here with a beautiful 4 points throw, threw him directly onto his back. And let's see if Acosta this time can go through to the final. Last time he was already in the semifinal and then lost twice, the semifinal and the fight for the bronze medal. So definitely he came here to not repeat the same situation as last time. And right now he's here in the arm lock, but Flores managed to get his arm out, and now he was aiming here for the leg lock, for the ankle lock, to be honest. But yeah, Acosta defended well by keeping him close. That's the most important thing. As soon as you get into that ankle lock, stay close to the upper body of your opponent so he can't bring the pressure onto your ankle. And now you can see him circling here. Acosta as well. You see that Flores now is moving a bit less than he did before, as now he's leading here with 4 points, so he's not seeing the need anymore to attack a lot. He can go over the time, and now he's going here for the Richak Kalena. Let's see if he can bring the pressure on. Looks like he turned over to the wrong side. If he wants to execute that correctly, he needs to bring the pressure then onto the knee and switch there a bit to the wrong side. Didn't quite get the second leg in order to control that movement, and lost that chance, or missed out that chance there. Halftime now of that contest, and Flores is still leading with 4 points. Is going there for fireman's carry, but couldn't get close enough. And now there's the chance, but a well attempt of Richa Kalena there. Didn't get his leg in between the legs of Flores, sorry. And now what's happening? So there was... Oh, now he's in the arm lock. Yeah, but Flores lifted him up. And there it is. 2 points they give for this double leg takedown, and he lifted him up all over his head. And there he gets a warning of the referee that he should listen closely to his whistle, because he decides when to start and when to stop. And there it is, a good sacrifice throw, and that should be awarded with some points. He brought him onto his side. Good attack here of Acosta, but well, he's down now by 6 points. So he really has to work on there, and there's only 1 minute left on the clock. Okay, they gave 2 points for this rollover here at the end. That's one of the new rules. If you roll your opponent over while still standing, then you can achieve 2 points for that. It's Flores of Mexico who is now into the final of this under 64 kilograms category. And for the bronze medal, we will see Goff of Honduras facing Acosta of Uruguay later on. Here, once again, we see the last situation where Acosta entered this sacrifice throw, if I'm not mistaken. There he should have received some points, actually. But maybe that was too slow for them. Now we have the semi-final between Anthony Molina in the red uniform representing Costa Rica and probably receiving the support of the home crowd, and he's facing Taylor Weber in the blue uniform representing the United States of America. We haven't seen Weber previously as he had a bye in the first round. Now he's dropping here deep under him, going for a drop shoulder throw, or in Russian brasok через спину. But well defended by Molina. Molina had a really good first and second round, firstly beating Brian Garcia from Nicaragua and then René Avedano from Chile. So he already has 2 fights on his account today. Meanwhile, it is the first fight for Taylor Weber. In this meaning, he would have had 2 buys to come to the semifinal. That's definitely a big advantage if you have fought as tough as Molina had to fight early on. But yeah, let's see. That's a good counter-attack here of Molina, and now he's working on the ground. There's 1 minute into the contest. Not sure why they should give a penalty right now for Molina as he brought in the last attack. But yeah, let's see. 1 minute into the contest, 4 minutes left to go. There's a hip throw attempt of Taylor Weber, but well defended of Molina here. Now tried to work on the floor, but couldn't really get into a good position. There it is. Fireman's carry attempt here of Molina, but you can see a good defense of Weber here. Managed to get out of that movement, of that attack. And so far there's not a big advantage for any of them. There, once again, he tries this with this drop shoulder throw. But Molina is predicting that movement. Predicted that earlier on. Let's see if Weber can surprise him with either the same technique from a different angle or different technique. Right now here he tried it with that sacrifice throw. Lost a bit of control at the end of this movement. That's why he couldn't bring him down on a scoring part of his body. And there was an attempt here once again with this sacrifice throw. Continued till the very end. Now they found themselves at the edge of the mat. That's why the referee had to interrupt. Still only 1 penalty on the scoreboard for Molina. And there a big hip throw attempt, but brought in his hip, Molina, so that's why he avoided being thrown. There's some good attacks here by Taylor Weber, but so far couldn't reach a score with that because Molina stays there pretty good. And right now Molina is going to work on the ground. let's see. Is trying to go for the arm lock, but that doesn't look too successful as his arm is not inside. Oh, it is. That's why the referees are starting this 1 minute countdown. So he can work now for 1 minute on this arm lock. But yeah, he took out his arm. That's why they have to interrupt then. And yeah, Taylor Weber still leading with this single penalty. And Molina is going there for the single leg takedown, but there's going to be a second penalty now for Molina, which results in the first point for Weber on the scoreboard. There's a single leg takedown attempt, and if he's now not careful, he might be thrown. Could work now on the ground. They give a third? No, don't think so. There, another fireman's carry attempt of Molina. But now you can see by this tactical lead, Taylor as well. Taylor Weber is changing something about his style. The hip is moving backwards in order to create space, to get some distance, to avoid being attacked well by Molina. And then Molina now is here working on the ground, going for Baleboy Canareke, and now he is inside there. He's not perfectly inside yet. He is actually. He just needs to get both of his hands on the foot. He has to reach out for that. But you can see that Weber is there defending with his arm. And now he could try it one more time, but he didn't. He was desperate there at this moment. Could have used that chance in order to make him tap out. Here once again, fireman's carry attempt of Molina. You can see the home crowd on their feet there in the background. They are supporting Molina, trying to bring him or to give him some more energy here. That was a desperate attack, obviously trying to look active here in this last seconds, but still leading with this 2 penalties, so he could allow himself another penalty even, or his very first penalty. And now there are only a few seconds left. 5, 4, and 1 last attempt. Oh, wow. I really thought he would go over. That would have changed everything here in this very last seconds, but now the time is over. There's probably one last penalty for Weber. No, there isn't, but Weber is into the final, and there he is going to face Flores from Mexico, who showed as well a great performance today. So we haven't seen a technical score in this fight here. If he would have controlled him a bit better, he might have thrown him onto his back. But it was a great attempt. He fought till the very end, and now he has to go for the bronze medal. But as Weber had a bye in the first round, Molina at least will please the home crowd now with this bronze medal, which he will get without the need to fight. And Weber will later on face Pedro Flores of Mexico in the final. Exactly. That's it so far. Right now, we are going to see a first really interesting semi-final in the under 88 kilogram combat Sambo category. And those are, as I have mentioned them earlier on, the 2 Kings layers, as in the red uniform representing the United States of America, we have Cody Miller, who beat last year's champion, last year's Pan American champion. And on the other side, we have Edgar Jaques of the Dominican Republic, who beat last year's vice champion, so the silver medalist. So both beat the two finalists of last year, and now they are facing each other here in order to become this year's finalist. Let's see who can make it. Both of them did really great fights against this respective finalist of the last year, Cody Miller. I guess, yeah, he actually won with full points there, and against Sebastian Contreras, and as well Edgar Jaques, through last year's silver medalist and yesterday's gold medalist in the sports discipline a few times, and at the end even knocked him out. So definitely two guys who are up for fighting here, and now that could be a really good position for Jaques, and there it is, 4 points for Jaques. Really bumped him there onto his back, and now is holding him down. Has to hold him there for 20 seconds, will receive 2 points for that, and would have a really good lead here, but right now Miller is trying to get out of that, but Jaques he's really looking strong. So 2 points right now for Jaques, and Jaques is really dangerous in the throwing part. So if Miller lets him get too close one more time, it could be all over, and Jaques would be into the final. Let's see. The winner here obviously gets into the final, and the loser, there it is, and he slams him once again onto his back, and there he is, Edgar Jaques. He is in the final of this year's Pan American Championship here in Alajuela, Costa Rica. Now that's what we don't like to see. Miller injured himself there a little bit, but maybe the bronze medal might be, or might help him later on to feel a bit better about his about today's performance, as he beat last year's winner. It's Edgar Jaques representing the Dominican Republic, who now made it into the final. And right now in the next combat, we are going to see who will be his opponent in this match. Bronze medal goes to Cody Miller here. And in the next match, we have Brazil. We have Everton Vespales. And there was once again here that big slam of Jaques, getting 4 points for that technique. That was really impressive. As I've mentioned, if he will let him get too close one more time, then he might be in trouble, and he was. So that was a really controlled semi-final win of Edgar Jaques. And Dominican Republic is going to have here another finalist and another chance to win a gold medal, as they have won already a few gold medals on the first day, if I'm not mistaken. Let me count. On the first day, the Dominican Republic won in total 2 golden medals, and it might be a third one today, with this chance now of Edgar Jaques, who is in the final. And he is going to watch probably the next fight between Everton Vespales in the red uniform representing Brazil, and Jose Molina in the blue uniform representing Honduras. Vespales really impressed exactly with this kick towards the head in his first fight. He really surprised his opponent from Bolivia there, kicked towards his head, and then combined that with a good double leg takedown and quick transition to a hold down. Yeah, we see, although that's the under 88 kilograms category, and people might not be too flexible anymore, at least not as flexible as the lighter categories like 64. He is showing a big flexibility here, reaching up to the head of his opponents. There's the first penalty for an unallowed movement. That's why there's the penalty plus 1 point towards Molina. And now they are 1 minute into the contest, and there's not a lot happening here. Both fighters are... Whoa! That was quick suddenly. That was kind of front suplex. Threw him onto his side and received 2 points for this action. So now he's leading again. And yeah, Vespales is doing well so far. He's having a really good combination of punches and kicks, and combines it then with wrestling techniques, as this double leg takedown I have mentioned from his first round against Bolivia. And Molina as well, he's going for this single leg takedown. We have seen Molina yesterday already in the sports Sambo competition, and there it is. There is 1 point for Jose Molina, bringing the Brazilian down with his single leg takedown onto his stomach. Referees didn't give 1 point yet. Not sure why, because he controlled this whole action and brought him down. Yeah, 2 minutes into the contest, 3 minutes left to go. And there was a knee butt of Vespales. I'm not sure if they are having a look at this one right now, because if he punched or kicked with his knee towards the back of the head, that would be illegal. But I'm not sure. Maybe they are having a look at the last situation of this single leg takedown, where Molina might have received 1 point, and they will consider this point. I would like to know what they are talking about, but we will see. Still reviewing this situation, as it seems like they are not quite sure about what has happened there. They're taking a long time, so that's why I think they might not look at the throwing situation, because that was actually pretty clear to me. But probably there was an illegal move somebody executed, so they might consider, yeah, that looks like it's the second illegal move of Vespales, and that could be that could lead to disqualification right now. Let's have a look. Looks like they made a decision. Having a little chat one more time. Yeah, they're just talking about how often that already happened. And he already received a penalty for the same illegal move. So if he receives the same penalty a second time, they might disqualify him. But we are going to have a look right now. So now they are asking the fighters to come back to the mat. Okay. So it was once again an illegal move by Vespales. So the second point for... Oh, wow, that's definitely now 1 point for this single leg takedown of Molina, and now he's leading here with 1 point. But we still didn't reach the halftime of this contest, so there's still a lot time to go. And you can see that Molina is always going for the single leg takedowns. He's having a great defense around his head, avoiding kicks and punches of Vespales, the Brazilian fighter. Here you can see his hands are always up, blocking anything which is coming towards his head, and then ducking underneath, going to the legs. But if it's like this, referees soon might consider to give a penalty. And right now I see that for the single leg takedown earlier on, they gave 2 points to to Molina. And here there was a good large outer reap attempt of Vespales, but Molina, managed to get out of it. But right now he received a second penalty, and that resulted in 1 point for Vespales. And right now here, once again, a good single leg takedown attempt, still leading here with 1 point. 1.5 minutes left to go. And that was a bad attempt here. So if he's not careful, okay. The referee said that Vespales initiated that attack. That's why he received 2 points for that, because he kept standing. His opponent just landed on his stomach. That's usually only 1 point. But if he keeps standing, then they give 2 points for that. And there was a really good inner thigh throw attempt here of Jose Molina. A really good attempt, but as well good defended by Vespales, the Brazilian. And Vespales is still leading here, and there's now the last minute of this contest starting. And you can see that Molina is not really the one who's bringing in punches or kicks, but he is more for this wrestling part of combat sambo. Now he dropped, landed on his elbows. But there's another penalty right now for this drop. Obviously, if he's too defensive, then he earns himself some penalties, and now he has already 3 penalties on the board. So if he's not careful now in the last 30 seconds, he will receive a 4th penalty and a disqualification here. This one was pretty bad right now. There it is, the 4th penalty for Molina. He made a good fight. We have to admit that, but at the end it was Vespales who, despite the fact that he had 2 illegal moves, fought tactically a bit a bit more clever, and that's why he is now into the final of this category here. Mm. Yeah, it was the over 98 kilogram category. Exactly. The under 88. I'm sorry, the under 88 kilogram category, obviously. So in the under 88, we will have Edgar Jaques from the Dominican Republic facing Everton Vespales of Brazil, and a bronze medal goes to Jose Molina and Cody Miller in this categories. So later in the final block, you are going to see a really interesting fight between the Dominican Republic and Brazil. We will then continue right now here with which category? With the under 79 kilograms category and the semi-final between. No, it's not the semi-final, it's the bronze medal match. That must be the bronze medal match. And exactly. It's the bronze medal match between Gutierrez in the red uniform representing Bolivia and Mora in the blue uniform representing Costa Rica. We have seen Gutierrez and Mora losing out against Cristian Artola from Nicaragua, who is now in the final. You will see him later on competing against Raúl Vázquez of Mexico. And yeah, we have seen that there was a really close fight between Mora and Artola early on in the semifinals. So probably on the paper and considering statistics, Mora here is the favorite of this final combat. But as I have mentioned at the beginning of the day, Bolivia, who came here and who as well took some medals yesterday, and including a gold medal in the under 98 kilogram combat category. They came here with a really strong team. In some categories, they have had some bad luck, but they definitely brought a team with level and with potential for the future international tournaments and next year's Pan American Championship. And let's see if maybe Gutierrez here can bring home another medal to Bolivia in this as well prestigious weight category. There are always weight categories which have many competitors, as they are like, when it's about the average height, then obviously there's always a bit more competition in this categories. And right now there's a good arm lock attempt. Now he needs to stay on the floor. Well defended by Mora, and he's now trying to go for a hold down. The referee is still counting the arm lock, but understood then that Mora had already pulled his arm out. So 2 minutes into the contest, and there's so far only one penalty for Gutierrez on the scoreboard. And Mora brought in a few attacks. That's why he looked more active in this contest, but as well the attacks have not been really good. Same as it was in the semi-final match. But now that was a good attack here. Drop shoulder throw and brought him onto his hip. That's 1 point for Mora. Shouldn't that be 1 point for Mora for that technique? Yeah. I won't agree to that penalty right now, as this last attack was executed by Mora. There's now a single leg takedown attempt by Gutierrez, but well defended by his opponent from Costa Rica. And now the attempt of an arm lock here by Mora, but the referee interrupted because probably he didn't have his arm inside anymore. So there are still almost 2 minutes left to go in this contest, and it's even with little advantage for Gutierrez, as Mora received the last penalty, and there's a good fireman's carry attempt here of Gutierrez. Oh, that was almost a mistake. They give him 1 point for that. So there was an attempt by Gutierrez, and then he fell away. There wasn't like a lot of contact. They still give 2 points for that action. At least there are 2 points on the scoreboard right now. Again, I'm not sure if I would agree to that, but that's why they're having a look at that situation in slow motion again. Because if it's happening so quick as it just happened, it's really difficult to judge. So that's why obviously they have a camera system there in order to re-watch the situation, and seems like they agree to that 2 points, so I'm not going to doubt it. If the slow motion confirms that, then that's the correct decision. So 1.5 minutes left to go. Gutierrez can still go forward, but here he was at the edge of the mat, and that's why he receives a second penalty, and that's a 3rd point towards Mora. So Mora in this close fight with 3 points kind of comfortably leading here. 1 minute left to go, and Gutierrez should bring in a big attack right now, otherwise he won't be able to close that gap. And that was a really nice fireman's carry. He receives 2 points for that one. That was really good. When Gutierrez was pushing there at the edge, he ducked underneath and entered that Mielnica technique. Well, they didn't give points. That's why the coach and as well the spectators are demonstrating there a bit, because yeah, that's why as well the referees are going to have a little chat once again, have a look at that situation. Should that be a score for that Mielnica attack here, which was executed by Herminio Mora of Costa Rica? Obviously, he has the support of his home crowd there, and they were screaming immediately. Like, obviously, when it's about the last minute and you can extend your lead there to be a bit more comfortable, then you're going for it. And there are the 2 points for that Mielnica technique. So now you can see it as well in his posture. He feels a bit more relaxed, right, or relieved. Yeah, Gutierrez has still 30 seconds left in order to come up with something. He's not looking like he he could bring up something now. Seems like he injured himself somewhere. Not sure, maybe he's bleeding a little bit. Yeah, from his nose. So they treat him, and after that he has 20 seconds more left. Obviously now both fighters can take a deep breath, regenerate for a few seconds, relax, and then bring in the last energy they have left over. For Gutierrez, it's all about the medal here right now. If he can go for it. Mora only has to defend now for 20 more seconds. He can get into a really defensive posture right now because he can still afford himself a few penalties. Yeah, 2 in total. So 2 penalties in 20 seconds, that's almost impossible. And there was a really nice attempt here. Was trying to go for the arm lock. And is now wasting some time on the ground. That's really good for him. Now the time ticked away, and there's a bronze medal for Costa Rica. The home crowd obviously is happy about that. You can see them applauding in the background. So Herminio Mora it is who takes the bronze medal here in this contest, and Gutierrez from Bolivia has a 5th place of this year's Pan American Championship in Costa Rica, so as well some world ranking points for him. And exactly, right now we would have to see the second bronze medal match between Jeffrey Roy from the Dominican Republic and Kevin Urbina from Honduras. Here we see once again how the last seconds are ticking away. Meanwhile, Molina still leading with 5 points. And there it happened that Gutierrez injured himself a little bit. That's why he was treated there at the corner. But yeah, congratulations to Costa Rica once again. And yeah, we're coming up with the next bronze medal match, and it is Jeffrey Roy in the red uniform, representing the Dominican Republic, and he is going to face Kevin Urbina in the blue uniform, representing Honduras. We have seen Urbina yesterday already winning a bronze medal in the combat discipline. Maybe he can repeat this success with another bronze medal here in sports Sambo. Would have been a really successful tournament for him then, with 2 medals. And if he maybe even is going to participate in the beach Sambo competition, which is going to be tomorrow, he might go home with 3 medals in total. So let's see. 1 medal he has secured already, so it was already a successful trip for him from Honduras to Costa Rica, winning here a medal on this continental championship. And yeah, Jeffrey Roy, I think we might have seen him as well yesterday, because his name sounds familiar to me. I guess he was probably as well participating in this combat Sambo discipline in the under 79 kilogram combat Sambo. Yeah, he was. But if I remember correctly, he lost out there in his match and wasn't able then to participate anymore, as there is no repechage in the combat section. But now he's leading here with 2 points against Urbina, and there are still 3.5 minutes left to go. And there's a single leg takedown attempt of Roy. And once again, this single leg takedown. This time, Urbina landed on his knees and avoided to fall and to get another score against him. So he has now to find a way of how to score. Was trying it with the inner thigh throw, but Roy was here good defending that and anticipating that. And there's the first, this is actually the second penalty already for Urbina. So another point for Roy on the scoreboard. So far is not really finding his way into that contest, Urbina. Meanwhile, Roy is smart moving here once again, a single leg takedown, receives 2 points for that, and is now securing the hold down. With that hold down, he could finish that fight and take a bronze medal home to the Dominican Republic. And this hold down looks really strong. So I guess there's no chance for Urbina to come out anymore. And the seconds are ticking away. And it's going to be Jeffrey Roy who is taking here a bronze medal after losing out yesterday in the combat section. Now a bronze medal for him in the sports discipline in the under 79 kilograms category. So bronze goes to Jeffrey Roy from the Dominican Republic and Herminio Mora from Costa Rica. And later on in the final block, we are going to see Cristian Artola representing Nicaragua and Raul Vasquez representing Mexico. So yeah, as well, it's not the first medal for the Dominican Republic of this year's Pan American Championship in Costa Rica as well. Yesterday, they have won various medals, and of these medals, there were 2 gold medals for the women, but as well a few bronze medals. So the Dominican Republic here had so far a really successful championship, and we're coming here to the next bronze medal fight, and we are hoping for Acosta now to not repeat the story of last year where he made it into the semifinal and then lost the semifinal and the bronze medal match. Right now here in the blue uniform representing Uruguay, it is Santiago Acosta. Right now here there was a good attempt against Jordan Goff representing Honduras, but was sadly outside of the contest area. That's why they couldn't give a score for that situation. So in the very first fight, Acosta actually impressed with his abilities, with his techniques. Had really some nice Sambo moves here right now. Once again, a really good counter attack initiated inside. That's why the referee is signalizing 1 point. Exactly, the other referees agree. So the first point goes to Acosta here after 36 seconds leading with 1 point. On a world championship, later such 1 point can be really decisive. Yeah, if it's a close match, 1 point is a huge difference. Because if we look, for example, at the medal matches, sometimes they are too close that even with penalties they decide that matches. So 1 point can be a lot. Yeah, in these competitions here, the attempt of Strigunok, some kind of foot sweep mixed with a sacrifice throw. And there was the first penalty right now for Goff, as in this first minute he didn't bring in any attacks, and he looked too passive for the referees. Right now here he's leaving the mat, obviously with some push of Acosta, but as I have mentioned as well once, the sportsmen need to be able to orientate themselves on the mat. So if they are close to the edge, they need to take care to move around, to circle, in order to leave this sport and to avoid receiving a penalty. Right now, he did that well. As we have seen here, he was now close to the edge, circled around, and pushed then Acosta outside of the mat. That's why now Acosta receives a penalty for that. So this time he really had a good orientation on the mat. Here, a single leg takedown attempt threw him outside of the contest area. Hopefully he's not injured there. Looks a bit like he has some pain. You can see it on his face. And yeah, there's another penalty for Goff, as he still didn't bring in any big attacks. And that's why there's a third point for Acosta on the scoreboard. So this time it looks much better for him than last year in Colombia. Seems like he made a really big progress in his style, in his strategy, and he is looking good to take a medal today. But we are now getting just close to the halftime, so still everything can happen. Although another penalty for Goff would now make the difference, and he might be disqualified. And there it is. Goff once again left the contest area, and you can see how happy Acosta is now. Took a bronze medal after last year's loss in the bronze medal match. So there's the bronze medal for Acosta from Uruguay. And the fifth place goes to Jordan Goff from Honduras. He will be happy about some world ranking points. We might see him again at the World Championship in November in Kyrgyzstan. That was the last fight of the preliminaries. We will see each other in the final block, which is later on the day, and then we're going to have some very interesting final fights. See ya.